said so long, carry on, 'cause the devil wants to take me for a ride.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a bit. I'm going to be real with you. It's been a bit. I don't know how long it's been. Fuck you, computer. This has been, the last month feels like it's been a lifetime. It's had a lot going on. I've been working. You ever into that, one of those moments where you just, life gets busy and you work and you hustle and you work and then you wake up and an entire season is just gone. Or you wake up and 15 years have gone by and you got a wife and kids. I think you just get so, I think that's why after you go off to college, your parents get all political again, is because, or you graduate high school, or you get to a certain age where you don't need that same level of attention. Your parents have been literally just working and fucking taking care of you nonstop all day, every day. And then all of a sudden they get free time and they go, what do I do with this? Well, I guess I gotta watch the news. I guess I gotta watch the fucking news. I have so much respect for parents. I really do. I took my cousin's kids to the beach, and it finally dawned on me. Like, I always want to remind them, I can show up and just have all this energy and play with them and then go home and not deal with them. And the poor dad's going to work like at least 40 hours a week as a carpenter and then show up and be exhausted and beat to shit and just want to relax for seconds, just for a little second. And he can't do that. And I realized when I had them at the beach, I go, oh, this isn't me relaxing at the beach. This is me, like, I have to watch you guys and make sure you don't die. That's what, I gotta make sure and I'm a pretty laissez-faire cousin uncle. I'm very much a, hey, do what you're gonna do. All right, just don't, I'm not your mom. You can, I'm not gonna make you with a life jacket, but take your boogie board out with you, all right, and put on sunscreen, all right? I don't fuck around with sunscreen. As a ginger, I take that shit serious. But I totally understood. I went, oh, man, I can't imagine coming home from work and then having to, all the effort that goes in to making sure that that two little people don't fucking die. Jesus. You know what? I'm convinced that back in the day, parents really just let kids do whatever. They really just said, hey, go play in the street. Because I ain't got time for your ass, motherfucker. I just got back from the glue factory. I just took 3 horses and put them in a press. Anyway, guys, welcome back. Thank you for listening. I'm going to be real with you. My apologies. I have been very behind because, well, I've been busy. And I'm going to tell you right now, gonna take a bit of a break from the podcast, at least for the summertime. I know some of you have been diehard listeners, and I very much appreciate you. So here's the deal. I have been really going to town on editing for my new YouTube page, which I've talked about forever, and I'm finally at a point where I think I can really make it happen. And it's taken me a long time to get there, and it is, I can't express to you how many hours of editing goes into it. So between that, the fact that me, Alex Giampapa, and Jason Cordova, comics who have been on the podcast, friends of the podcast, and another funny comic, Liam McGurk, have all written a show. We wrote a pilot, which is a first, preview episode. Every show starts with a pilot episode. And we wrote a pilot for a show that we want to pitch. And if, some company or larger channel doesn't take it, we will just release it ourselves. Anyway, we have been writing the script. We've been videotaping. We are filming it ourselves, actually. Just us with my new iPhone 13, which is a hell of a fucking camera, to be honest, dude. That's all you need. And a boom mic, and just us, just going to town, man. And on top of that, I'm making content for my social medias. I'm doing stand-up. I am also working that old union job that I haven't worked in a while. They came crawling back, because all the last little restrictions that kept me from working are gone, and I'm back, baby. Daddy's back, and I took a bit of a hit, financially speaking, over the course of COVID, and I gotta, with everything going on in the world and a potential recession looming, I need, oh man, I love pursuing my dreams. I love it. But what really makes art tough is that at the end of the day, it's the people with an extra source of income that are usually the ones that are able to do it. So I got to find a way to do both, man. I just got to find a way to do both. And so I'm doing all that. I'm work plus work, and then on top of that, just trying to be a person and do stuff for my family and other responsibilities. And something has got to give, and this is going to be it. It's gonna temporarily at least be the podcast until further ado, until I can find a way to rebrand or refigure it out. And until then, I've got one more interview, and I think it's gonna be a break for a bit. I'm also trying to go see my lady friend in July. I'm hoping that works out, because, boy, she had someone in her family got sick. It's been a wild time. Last time I spoke with you guys, I was joking about a train shooting, and now there's been 18 fucking shootings. Oh my God, dude! I wrote a funny bit about mass shootings, and I think I tried it out in this podcast about how you're always going, oh man, I hope it's not one of mine. I hope it's not, if you're white, you're like, I hope it's not a white dude. And then guess what? White dude killed 10 fucking people in Buffalo. And I was like, yeah, boy. And then there were 3 other shootings in that same day. And I went, I don't know if I can do this joke. But then I had to remember, there's always another shooting, Mike. That's what's so horrible about it, is that there's always another one. Anyway, I don't want to hop on that, because that's really fucking depressing, and I don't want to give any credence to that psychopath and what he's trying to do. Just say that it's goddamn horrible stuff. What else? A war with Russia is still this. Although the news has kind of just been like, the news it's so funny, dude. The news really is a toddler with a floor full of toys, and he just doesn't, he'll pay attention to one for a second and then go to a new one and then go to a new one and go to a new one. And that's how it works. From what I understand, it's over. No, it's not over, but the news, we do what we always do as Americans. We find a cause, we go, rah, and then we realize we can't fix it with instant gratification in less than 3 weeks, and we abandon it like everything else. Anyway, you know what, though? At least COVID's over, right? It finally really feels like it's over. You know what's fun? Do you ever see someone wearing a mask and you go, oh, I didn't know people were still doing that. I didn't know that was still a thing. It's like you see someone who's still trying to bring back, I don't know, disco. They're trying to new wave. Someone's trying to bring back. You ever see that dude? He's wearing a Con t-shirt and he's got a chain wallet, and you go, let it go, dude. It was fun. We had fun in the 90s. Let it go. Take off the Janko jeans and let it go. Just let it fucking go. Oh, man. Though they are gearing up. You know what? Feels weird? You know what feels really weird is that So COVID's over, and we're coming back now, right? We're all like, everyone's just gonna pretend, hey, it was like nothing ever happened, right? We're done with it. We're all back to square one. It feels like we're in a relationship, right? Have you ever been in a relationship where someone cheated? Where something fucked up or crazy happened and someone cheated or both people cheated, and you want to make the relationship work. So you try it again, you get back into it, and you do this thing where you both try and pretend like we're back at square one, like things are normal again. But deep down inside, you both know it's not. Something's different. Something changed. Something wild happened, and you don't get to just go back to the way things were. And you try not to talk about it, and you try and pretend like it didn't happen, but it did. And you try and pretend like this weird thing isn't there, but it is. And that's how I feel right now about the world in COVID. As if I'm with a partner who cheated, and they just want to go, hey, let's just, hey, we're all, hey, and I'm just sitting here going, no. Like, I'll try and make it work, but we're not pretending like that shit didn't happen, motherfucker. Not to mention that we can't gear up for Monkey Pox. Fucking Monkey Pox. Dude. Fuck you. I'm not doing it. I'm not a fucking chance. I got too much going on. No. Just no. I'm not, no. Fuck you. Fuck you. No. Hey, you know what? I don't know if you know this, but fuck you. No, we're not doing monkeypox. We're not, it's not happening. It's not a thing. We're not doing it. Okay? And here's why I don't have to worry about monkeypox. So monkeypox, it came out of Africa because that's where most monkeys live. And, but right now it's only in Western countries, strangely. What happened, and here, there's a reason why that is, because monkeypox got its spread at a massive, giant gay pride event that happened in Madrid or Barcelona. It was in Spain. I want to say it was Madrid, and it's also initially linked to a spread at a gay bathhouse. And if you're not familiar with what a gay bathhouse is, it's just a place where dudes go and fuck each other in the butt. You rent a room. And, it's just dudes walk around the place and fuck each other. Just other people like, hey, what's going on in this room? And guys go, butt fucking. He goes, whoa, I like butt fucking. And you're like, well, come on in and fuck a butt, dude. He's like, can I get my butt fucked? And they're like, well, hell yeah. All right. He's like, a little bit of dick sucking? A lot of bit of dick sucking. There's a lot of bit of dick sucking going on here, fella. you like sucking dick? Boy, did you come to the right fucking place. And that's how it works, right? And monkeypox started there. And eventually it's going to, someone's going to be like, hey, the vast majority of STDs are spread by gay men. It's overwhelming. It's like above 80%. And, oh man, that's almost all AIDS cases. Proportionally, 2% of the population, 1%. It's not even 3, I think. But, enormous. Whatever. Proportionally speaking, they are enormous. And, the media isn't going to go and then say that this new illness started or is coming from that way. But it is spreading that way. And just in time for Pride Month, I might add you. So I know I'm not worried. I'm not worried about lockdowns because someone's going to go, hey, what if we stop these pride marches? And someone's going to go, you are a homophobic bigot. And then their career's over. And so, yeah. Anyway, guys, stop fucking monkeys. Just stop fucking monkeys. Dude, who's fucking the monkeys, man? Just, I've never seen a monkey and thought to myself, I'd like to fuck that monkey. I've never seen an ape. I've never seen a chimp or a gorilla and thought, damn. I've never seen a baboon and thought, baby. Want to get in that big, pink, red, bulbous, bloated, ass pussy. Like, I don't like, if I even had to pick an animal to fuck, primates would be way, way, way down the list. Way down. I would start off with like a horse or a sheep. I would, something that with a big rump that just seems like it'll sit there. I don't want something that's going to turn around and bite my face, rip my dick off. I don't know. No, I don't. God, fuck, my window's open. God damn, my neighbors hate me. Anyway, no monkey pox. We are not doing that. Speaking of bigots, John Mulaney had a stand-up show, and Dave Chapelle was a guest opening. And normally, you go to a comedy show, and Dave Chapelle shows up, and people go, "Yeah, wow, woo! One of the best stand-up comics ever to do it. One of the best just dropped in, and we get to watch him try out new stuff." Well, man, apparently, John Mulaney, and I wouldn't know because I don't fucking listen to John Mulaney because I don't find John Mulaney funny. He's a good joke writer, but he's just not my cup of tea, Anyway, John Mulaney had a show, and apparently John Mulaney, the ladies and queers and LGBTQF elemental Ps enjoy Mr. Mulaney. And several of them were at the show, and oh boy, if you want some fun, go on Twitter and just read the meltdowns of people who came out for a nice safe space comedy show, and John Mulaney, and boy, to their surprise, this big offensive black brute came on stage, Mr. Dave Chapelle, and began to make jokes, and just watching people write about how they hyperventilated and had panic attacks and felt like they were being damn near raped as they were held in their seats against their will, and the horror, the horror, the pure insane horror, the horror of being the horror, fucking, and Dave was just doing layups, man. He said he got attacked by a knife a gun that identified as a knife, because the guy had a knife that's flipped out of a gun. It's a knife, but it looks like a gun, and the switchblade comes out anyway, and everyone, and then Dave, like, it's funny because no one could videotape it because their phones were all in magnetically sealed cases, and that's how we do it at new stand-up shows. And someone like tried to write a transcript to the best of their recollection, where Dave said to a woman with an aid dog, "Hey, you ever put peanut butter on your pussy for that dog to eat?" And and everyone, and of course, Jesus Christ, like, what? I just can't get, you're some weak motherfuckers, dude. And I feel like the tides are changing. The pendulum is really about to, politically speaking, the world gets pulled there's this theory, pendulum theory, that as the pendulum swings one way, then eventually people go, "Whoa, I've had enough of this. I've had enough of right-wing Christians being up my ass, so I'm going to go do some hippie shit." And then you go hippie, and then someone's like, "Hey, I want to give my 2-year-old acid." And you go, "I think we've done enough with this hippie shit." And you swing right back. So the pendulum, in my opinion, after a couple decades of being, it's progressively been being pulled towards the left over and over again. And then there was just a monster pull to the left. And just an insane pull to the left. Like, I saw a meme that Elon put up. Elon bought Twitter. I don't know if I talked about that. Anyway, but he did. And it shows a guy sitting in the center. And there's a right-wing guy to his right and a left-wing guy to his left. And the left-wing guy runs like 3 football fields to the left and changes the whole goalpost. So the center moves to move with that guy and yells at a centrist, "You're a bigot." Which guys, I think I've discussed it here, is true, because you've got, like, you're like, "Hey, trans kids are under attack." The stuff they're under attack for is bills that literally, you guys, this stuff just came into play. It's not like there's some. It's going to go back to the way it was 2 years ago when people were fine and everything was safe for you. No one is under attack. Anyway. You got Republicans hanging out with Caitlyn Jenner and calling him or her a she. Like, so, yes, like it is moved. Anyway, it's about to do a giant yankety yank, and I feel bad for people who are genuinely trans because, the fella who grows out a beard but then puts on eyeliner and says that he's a trans chick who's teaching kids at a preschool is about to fuck it up for you, because Bill Maher came out with a thing. We had a very, I think, intelligent, nuanced take where he said, hey, can we talk about why 20% of adolescents are identifying as trans now? It is skyrocketing proportionally every year, and it clearly in certain places and not others. And he said, why are there more trans kids in California than Ohio? Partially probably because Ohio isn't as open-minded as California, but also because it's being encouraged in California. Because not everyone who's trans is like, hey, I am something happened. Back 10 years ago, being trans meant I'm a dude. I was born a dude, but I'm really a woman. Understandable? Some people weren't on board. Almost everyone got on board. Or vice versa. But then something happened where people were like, I'm trans. My pronouns are she and they, them. And people were like, well, what is this? There was a lot of semi-commitment. It became something else. And when people, especially it's mostly young girls doing it. And anyway, so Bill Maher is now a right-wing lunatic. So, like, if you get to a point where guys like Bill Maher and Dave Chapelle and J.K. Rowling and Russell Brand, and like guys like Russell Brand that are spiritual, like JPC is definitely more conservative now than he's been, but he didn't start out that way. He just kind of started out as a healthy dude, and all people who were pro-health and pro-spirituality due to the whole COVID thing became more right-wing as you get in groups, and also because the left kind of shifted their goalpost. And so things are, I don't know, especially if we get this recession, because god damn, dude, you guys heard about baby formula? Hey, y'all motherfuckers heard about baby formula? Hey, have you heard about this? Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? Baby formula, huh? Apparently baby formula, you can't even fucking get baby formula. Dudes, motherfuckers are selling baby formula for $60 a can on the internet. Dude, if I was a bitch and I had some titties, like some solid titties, not these little, occasional man boobs that grow out, but some titties, hallelujah, Lord have mercy. I would be lactating. I would find a way to induce lactation. I would be milking those. I would hook up 2 Hoover vacuums to my titties and just sit there and watch and just suck those I would be storing gallons of my titty milk. I would be on the corner selling this shit. I would say, hey, it's $200 for a pint, $300 for a quart, sell you a gallon for $1,000. And people be like, well, that's too much for titty milk. And I go, oh, well, I guess you ain't willing to put in money to keep your baby from not dying, bitch. Cause them's the prices and they non-negotiable, motherfucker. I would be singing so much titty milk. If I was a woman and I could get milk in my titties, I would just walk around my house with they were super soaker, just spray it. I just walk up to my husband and I go, hey, honey, can you see this? And just right in his eyeball, right in his eyeball. He's just sitting there watching the football game, and I just sneak in like Rambo with paint on my face and just get up from behind the couch and just run up on him. What? Surprise, motherfucker! Boom! Right in his face. Just squirt him right in his fucking eyeball. Oof. Oh man, speaking of things that are going on with women, abortion. That's dude. Is that why? Is that? Oh man, we haven't talked in so long. Roe v. Wade might go away, and for those of you that don't know, that means there will be no more abortions. No, it fucking doesn't. It means it'll be a state issue. Okay, you can still get abortions. And hey, look, I have mixed feelings, but I'm pretty much pro-abortion. All right, up until a certain point. I'm not I'm not one of these crazy dudes who reasonable. We actually have the most liberal abortion laws in the world. Europe actually is even more restrictive than us, but it's more of a timetable thing. After a certain, I think it's 12 weeks, they go, not a fucking chance. Anyway, Roe v. Wade, someone leaked it purposely to cause problems. Hey, big surprise, division in America. Anyway, it's a state issue, dude. I don't understand why this bothers people so much. I've also had this conversation with a girl I dated who was more progressive than me, where I said, what if we just separated America and you didn't have to worry about these stupid southern states that you don't like so much? And the answer was no, never. It's a weird sort of moral crusade, like the Islamic crusades in the 600s when Islam came to be, and it had to spread through war and violence, or how Christianity had to spread. There couldn't be pagans over the next hill. That was not allowable. Okay, and in the Baltic area, the Teutonic Order had great crusades against the pagan Slavs. There is this. It feels very much like that. That it doesn't matter. What about those people there? Well, here's the thing. If the North and the blue states separated from the red states, you would never have to worry about having a conservative president. You would never have to worry about having conservative views ever really being brought up and facing or fighting your views, because those places where the bulwark of people who support that wouldn't be around. So you'd kind of have a monopoly over your shit, and you could do everything you wanted to do. So I'm confused, but I also know that it's a proselytization thing. The unwashed barbaric masses must progress. And so I will inform you. Here's the thing: if Roe v. Wade goes away, which it looks like it is, it will be a state issue. Most states, it'll still be legal. The ones you expect. Some it will be illegal, and some might have restrictions on it. And here's what you can do. You're literally going to be. You can just literally take a car ride to the next state and get an abortion. You can fly there. It's not only that, and for the excuses of they don't have enough money, California is saying that they will literally pay you to come get an abortion. There's like this Bungie, the dudes who made, I don't know what this is, where like Bungie, the video game company that made Halo, went and said that it will pay for any of its lady employees to get abortions. I just don't know why that needs to be. They made that announcement, and oh man, I wish we could go back to the time where we all agreed that corporations were fucking evil, because they are still evil. In a corporate, man, I paid for an abortion doesn't mean that you're not a scum. Hey, do you pay for an abortion? Congrats. Did you pay your workers higher fucking wages? You cunts. Although I did, I think I mentioned this, but I found out that abortions are a pill up until like 8 weeks, and I just think it would really be funny if you as a woman went to get an abortion. You have to come back. You have to come back and check on it, and you get the abortion. This is something I didn't know. I didn't know that there's certain things I didn't know. I didn't know that Europe had more restrictions. I didn't know that most pro-lifers are actually women. That's actually something you wouldn't know. And that the whole pill system works. So you have to come back in and check. So imagine being a girl going back in and checking, and the doctor's like, "Hey, remember how that whole abortion thing?" And you go, "Yeah." And he's like, "That baby, he's still in there." Yeah, and boy is he mad. Little son of a bitch. No offense there, miss. We'll get him. We'll get him. He fucking, he won the battle. We'll win the war. Anyway. I have noticed in my age, I really am. I'm going to be 36 in July, and it's not a bad thing, but it's also like a thing to deal with, and it's funny. COVID and all this, maybe I feel, even though like 33, I felt like I was 25. 36, I feel like I'm 48 all of a sudden, and I don't know why. And the funny thing with getting old is that I never thought it would happen to me. The thing with getting older is I never thought it would happen to me. I looked at old people and I always just thought they were idiots or they did something wrong. I was like, getting old, that's something that happens to stupid people, or people that fuck up. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. I somehow thought that I would circumvent growing up, and calling all the... And here I am. And, it's not a bad thing. It's just that our society teaches us that America, the United States, tells you that growing old is bad. We really do. Because we, for some reason, worship youth in a really toxic way. Because then you will spend your whole life working yourself to the bone to pay for procedures and bullshit to make yourself look young, instead of just learning to be happy with the age you're at. And it's one thing that I have... I had this conversation twice yesterday where I talked with some people about how important it is to live in the moment. Guys, I know the world's crazy, and I know it's fucked up. I know it feels like there's a million things happening, but that's how it's always been. When you learn history, you realize that there are times in history where definitely, like, let's take the year 1917, fucking crazy year, Russian Revolution. The United States of America gets into World War I. The empires are dying. There's shit going on in the Middle East. Crazy. The Zionist movement in the Middle East is gearing up. Fucking just crazy shit. But at the end of the day, shit is always happening. It's always happening. So, war in Ukraine. You see people writing, I've seen this a lot on Twitter, it's okay to be mentally ill. We just went through a crazy pandemic. But there's also people who were pro-lockdown and all that jazz. And it is. It's okay to say, hey, I'm fucking funny. But also, it's because it's being shoved in your face through media. There is some crazy shit going on in the world, but it's not really more than it's ever been. The battles continue. Do they get bigger? Possibly. Like, I don't know, there's some shit going on with the WHO is getting special powers, and the what is that? The International Monetary Fund is getting troops, which is a fucking... I might be confusing with another organization. Basically, it's a giant fucking banking syndicate that has quasi-fucking military now. It's not good shit, but it is what it is. And it's shit that it exists and is happening. But it's always. But you can't let that keep you from not taking time with your friends, with your families, and all that. Because I keep hearing about this worker shortage. There's a worker shortage. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Oh, God. Oh, man. Is there anything more than that boomer take of, nobody wants to work anymore? Shut up. Shut your bitch ass up and stop worrying about what other fucking people do. Where are all these people who don't want to work? There's a worker shortage. Where every boomer has this, and they don't have to be a boomer. They can be a 22 and be a boomer at heart. Has this, no one wants to fucking work. Where there's no more unemployment, dick face. There hasn't been unemployment for months. Okay? They had to go back to work. There's no great big fucking welfare surplus. People went back to work. So I don't know what you're talking. Well, here's what might have changed. A lot of people found new careers. A lot of people lost their jobs during the pandemic and they found new ways to make money. A lot of people worked for themselves. Some people found maybe it was OnlyFans. Maybe it was, I don't know. A lot of people figured some shit out. And guess what? They're not going to waste their life away at some dead-end fucking job. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Like even one of the reasons I came back to be able to do this other work is because there's never been more live events than ever. My union can't fill jobs, and because some people did leave because what do? You're out of work for 2 fucking years. They found new gigs. Some people came back. Almost everyone did come back. But what COVID taught us is that as much as I worked that crazy hours during a week, eventually you just get your overtime taxed more. You go into a higher tax bracket, you lose more of your money. And when you work crazy hours, when you're working 80 hours a week, instead of sitting home and fixing something, like whether it be emotional or family, like a non-physical fix, or you actually fix a physical thing, and save money that way, you work so much to make money that the money you earn, you just spend on fixing your fucking car instead of just fixing it yourself. So it's a detriment to you. There's a point where working too much is a fucking detriment, and people have realized I want to be there in my kid's life. So I'm not working five days a fucking week. I'll work 4 days a fucking week. No one wants to work. Shut up. That's why you boomers are all miserable and dying of fucking alcoholism, you bums. Sorry. I'm sorry. Rant over. I don't want to be that dude. But, I think there's something else going on here. I'm not buying into this great worker shortage. I'm really not. All right? Pay more fucking money. All right? Pay more fucking money and people will work. You pay enough and people will come. All right? The elites, the greatest wealth transfer in human history took place over the pandemic. The rich got richer, the poor got poorer. Well, guess fucking what? You rich cunts can pay some more money to the people at the bottom. All right? Gas is $5 a gallon. Fucking people are sucking dick for baby formula, sucking dick for gas, sucking dick just to suck dick in Madrid because you want your monkey pox. Oh, dude, you know what? I fixed the oil in my car I changed the oil in my car for the first time. I've always brought it someplace. Oh, not that I've had a car for much of my life. Most of my life I've never had a car, but I changed the oil. And I was like, oh, this is something I can do on my own. I got covered in oil, though. It was a bitch. I got soaked in oil, but I realized, I don't have to pay someone to do this. And having your oil changed, that's one that it's not. It's also worth it to have someone to do it. But there's a reason I'm doing it myself. Anyway, I did it myself, and I looked up on YouTube, and then I went across the street to the guy across the street from me. He's in his early 70s, and I borrowed a 17 millimeter ratchet, and we were talking about cars and stuff because he's got an old Ford, and he's got his truck and his wife's car, and he's got a lawnmower and a motorcycle and an RV, the sort of stuff that. It's funny. He came back from Florida. He's like all the people where I live went away for the winter. He'd come back. And it was so nice to hear this from an older guy. He said, you know what, with everything going on, he goes, I can't imagine what it's like. He goes, I'm a Teamster. I'm a retired Teamster with a pension. And I get to have a home and an RV and a couple of cars and this classic car and a bike. And I worked, I put in my time, and the American dream. He's not he's just a middle class, working class, grew up in Boston and Jamaica Plain, American fucking dream. And ordinary fella, and he said, I can't imagine what it's like to be a young guy right now and having a family. And just how do you pay? And it was so nice to hear hear a boomer say that. To hear a boomer say, hey, I can't imagine what it's like to be trying to raise a family and not being able to pay for anything. It was nice to hear that because a lot of them act like they act as if the current generation is lazy, and they're not, dude. They're out there working. But eventually, when you work and things don't work, the intelligent man changes up. So when you're working, slaving away at a dead-end job and you're not getting anywhere, you fucking quit and you reassess. It doesn't make you lazy. It makes you fucking intelligent. Also, what I realized, I went on YouTube, and YouTube helped me figure out how to change my oil, and specifically in my 98 Honda Civic. And I remember thinking, I said something that I heard a lot of people say. I said, what the fuck did people do before YouTube? And it dawned on me, because I've said that a bunch. I've heard it said a bunch, because everyone, if you ever can't do something, you go on YouTube. How do I fix my car? How do I fix my fridge? I'm literally, I broke a patio umbrella. I'm trying to fix it. I can't fucking, like, I know how to fix it, but it's just too much of a fucking cunt to fix. I can't do it. And I remember I said to myself, how did people fix stuff back in the day? And I remembered, family, your dad, your father, your grandfather. You didn't grow up in an environment where you lived in the nuclear family and it was just you and two parents and one of them might not be there. You had family. How did people back in the day figure out you literally were a guy, you bought your car and you said, how do I fix the oil? And so you went to your dad or one of your grandfathers or one of your multitude of uncles or an older cousin and you said, hey, how do I fix my washing machine? And they were like, well, your cousin Patrick fixes appliances. Ask him. Your Uncle Pete is a handyman. He'll help you out. He can tell you how to do it. You went, how do I fix it? And you go, oh, well, your Aunt Kathy married a mechanic. Ask, your Uncle Joe. And that's how you fucking did it. We had families. That's what people did before YouTube. Okay? Also, there wasn't this insane level of technology advancement where all of a sudden there's a new iPhone, so I have to figure out how to use it all over again. So that's what you did. That's honestly, some of my pipes froze this year, and I had to fucking put new pipes in behind my shower. It was a motherfucker. It could have cost me a couple grand from a plumber. And I said, what do I do? And I was talking to my uncle, and they go, well, my uncle goes, I'm a plumber. I'll come over. He came over and fixed it for me. Said, don't pay me. I gave him a jar of weed. He goes, I can't. I go, fucking take my weed, Uncle Greg. He took it. But him and my aunt, they're fucking old school. They started smoking in the 70s when weed was shit. They like shit weed. They like chafe. I smoke their weed. I get a fucking headache. I gave them good weed, good fucking weed from a dispensary in Maine. And they go, I can't smoke this. I almost died. Everyone likes what they grew up on, whether it's TV, board games, the morality of the time, or shitty fucking weed. Anyway, one thing that you might not get from your uncles and aunts is how to deal with certain mental illness, because they didn't teach that. I will say that I had a period where I was getting antisocial. I was getting stressed out, overwhelmed, dealing with, I'm not family stuff, all that. And then if some of my friends said, come out, hang out with me, we'll play some fucking Catan with me and the other two friends. And I go, I was going to leave. I was just like, nah, dude, I'm not coming. And he goes, stop being fucking antisocial. I went and I just hung out with 3 friends and I felt a million times better. And I go, God damn, man, so much of what's going on in our world is really just, it's just loneliness. Because I really have been studying YouTube, and I got into TikTok lives because I got a friend who's making money off TikTok lives. And dude, TikTok lives scare me. If you ever get a chance, it's different from regular just TikTok scrolling. You go through the lives and it's people there making money, but it's a lot. The people who are getting the highest views, it's deformed people, man. It's people that are disabled and physically fucking deformed, and people watch it out of some sick curiosity, maybe to feel better about themselves or to feel I get to feel this paternalistic grandeur, or I get to feel like I'm helping them, which can come from a good place, but it's not healthy, dude. And people walk in there, some of them make fun, and go in the chat rooms and make fun of them or say, but you shouldn't have to do that to appreciate your life. And some of them are just chicks with big tits. Some of them, it's pretty boys flirting with women. Some of it, a lot, is people gambling. There's a whole section where people scratch tickets, and they go, hey, give me gifts. You give gifts that are worth money. And for the record, when you give gifts, whether it be in a live, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, they take 50 to fucking 60% of the money. So when you're giving gifts to someone you like, you're really giving 50 to 60% of that money. I have a guy who just was doing a live. He's getting some girls who like his stuff. And he's just joking with them, talking. Bitch gave him $400, a $400 gift. He got TikTok took $250 out of it. $250, bro. Motherfucker. Oh, man, that would drive me nuts. And anyway, dude, there's also this whole thing where it's people pretending to sleep, and they go, oh, keep me from sleeping, and they set up their room with fog machines and crazy lights and sounds, and you pay gifts to torment them. It's someone in a room, and they're just sitting there, and it is, I have never seen something more dystopian than TikTok Live. I truly feel like I'm looking on a episode of Black Mirror. Just insane, man. It's insane. And I go, you know what? I'm not going to fuck with this. Because I did a TikTok Live from Mountaintop, got two people checked in, gave me a little gift, and I was like, I'm good, dude. I'm good. But what I realized is that all of the algorithms and everything you do with how you make your YouTube pages and your social media pages, it's all geared around the fact that the person consuming your product is lonely. And I had this talk with my, Jeff, runs a studio, and I go, he said, when we talk about, the idiots who get sucked into the news and the media and all that bullshit, I go, yeah. He goes, and this is something I was thinking anyway, he goes, it sucks because a lot of times those are the people you need to become your followers to get fame on these apps. And I go, you're fucking right, dude. It's the person who's so unhealthy that they scroll social media nonstop, or it's the person who thinks that the people they watch on YouTube are their friends, or the people they watch on TikTok are their friends. And he goes, and it was just, shit, I didn't mean to go down this dark hole. I was going somewhere positive. Anyway, the positivity of this is what I'm saying is, I said like things don't feel normal again. The loneliness factor. Go fucking spend some time with some people, dude. If you're listening right now, if you made it this far on the podcast, I'm going to end soon. So I'll say this. I might keep doing solos. I don't think I'll be doing interviews anymore because getting guests is just, it's a lot. I might, if I have time, I will periodically drop a solo because I do like doing this. But here's what I'm going to say. The summer's about to come. You might have a ton of work because you work in an industry where there's a lot of outdoor events, or you work in the service industry. There's a lot of concerts. You might be selling stuff, whatever. It's a time to make money off of tourists. Promise yourself that every fucking week you will dedicate time to you. Dedicate a day. You deserve at least a fucking day a week. Say right now, I deserve at least 1 out of 7 days for me. Say it, motherfucker. Say it out loud. That I deserve a fucking day. I deserve a day to be a human being. Where I'm not slaving away at my job or my career, and I'm not slaving away, doing so many chores for others, whether I love them and my family and it's my responsibility or not, but I'm doing chores around the house. Just say I deserve a fucking day where at least I get to chill with my family and friends. A day where and you're off your fucking phone. Dude, promise yourself that 1 day a week you will not use technology. More than you promise, dude. I know it's hard, but that's a reason you should do it. And just have a day where you don't go on social media. And I'm an idiot. This is why I haven't figured this game out yet, because I tell you guys don't use social media, which I need to fucking be successful. I'm like a fucking crack dealer who's always selling crack and like, hey, you really shouldn't do this stuff. You really should go to, hey, I get a guy who can sponsor you at Narcotics Anonymous. I know a place where you can get help. That's I'm the worst. Anyway, don't allow yourself to do that thing where you work so, because I know everyone I know is working themselves to the fucking bone. And I keep hearing there's a worker shortage. No one wants to fucking work. Shut up. You're a human being. You were meant to work, but you were meant to work for yourself and your family in the right places. And so much of your natural work ethic has been used to break you down. Jason Cordova said to me that in our talk, when we were talking about why it's so important to live life and spend time with people you love and to really live in the moment. And he said, America idolizes workaholics, and we do more than any other country. Everyone says it's the old Protestant work ethic. Individualism is a good balance. It's nice to have a level of individualism, but we overemphasize it to the point of mass loneliness and addiction and psychosis. And the idea that I should just be alone working till I fucking die. Blah. And Jason said, we always champion the workaholic who works 80 hours a week. Why don't we champion the guy who keeps a balance of work and family and personal time? That's the motherfucker that we got to champion. So champion that. Be that guy. Don't be the dude who sits on the couch all day and plays with his dick. And don't be the motherfucker who works 80 hours a week. Be the guy that says, and I get in this, when I started working again for my other job, I found myself taking I was taking overnights, and I go, Mike, I had a day where I got so run down from all the projects I was working with, I almost physically couldn't get out of bed. And mentally and physically, I was so beat. My body was like, I can't do it, Mike. And I was trying to not listen to it, and I went, dude, this is your life. You need your mind and your body. It's saying stop. If my car had a check engine light on, what would I do? I would ignore it. But this ain't your fucking car, dickhead. It's your life. So don't ignore it. When your mind and your body say, check this motherfucker out. If you go 80 on the highway, how's that song go? Come on, Mike, you should know this. I'm doing 100 on the highway. So if you're doing speed limit, get the fuck out of my way. Luda. Anyway, don't kill yourselves, guys. Work for you. Do not let this summer pass you by. You get 52 weeks in a year, and then I realize more and more how few that is. How few that really is. Because you're like, hey, I work every weekend. I go, I will have that weekend with my cousins or whatever, and then it just doesn't fucking happen. Because I get so fucking, I got to do this weekend, and this weekend, and this weekend, and this. And it's funny, dude. Even when I go nuts working, I still don't seem to have enough money. It comes and it goes. It'll come and it'll go again, brother and sisters. So, regardless of what's going on in the world, what matters, and it does affect you, and I'm not saying be fucking ignorant. Don't do that. Be educated. Know what's going on with those scumbag globalists. Yeah, I said it. And the WHO and the fucking World Economic Forum and the International Monetary Fund, bastards. Know about that shit, but also know about what's going on in your kid's life, and know about you. And I went and did some hiking again, and I thought, fuck, man, I really need this shit. I had someone go, oh, Mike, how are you tired? You have time to hike? And I go, dude, shut up. Shut the fuck up. If I don't, I'll fucking go nuts. I'll go nuts. All right? So don't go nuts. Don't go nuts. Go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but don't go nuts. All right? And, enjoy your time, because you never know. You might close your eyes and fucking 20 years pass by. And I talked about getting old. Here's something. Dating around, it's so different from when I was in my early 30s. It's changed so much on dating apps. I really, I'm listening to a bunch of podcasts about the Sioux Indians, Lakotas, Sitting Bull, Crazy Horse, the Wolf of the Black Hills, and what really took them out wasn't the army. It was the extermination of the American buffalo. The near extinction of the bison destroyed their lifestyle and it destroyed their economy, their way of life. That's more than the army ever did. And statistically speaking, the happiest groups of people ever in the history of humanity have been hunter-gatherer peoples, because they spend time with their family, they stare up at the sky, and they don't, they're not sitting in a factory all day or a chair all day. They work. Don't you think a fucking Lakota dude ain't working? Like, he wasn't out there fighting the Crow tribe, or fighting over horses, or out there hunting. He was out there. He was getting it in. But he also took time to be a fucking man and to live and have time and fun with his family and be a fucking person, dude, and pay homage to his past and his ancestors. And anyway, I had this realization that dating apps, Tinder, after a while, dude, it's a lot like the end of the West. You're just an Indian and you're out there on the prairie and you're like Sitting Bull, and some of your friends got locked down. They got married. They're like the Indians that went to reservation. You go, bitch ass Red Cloud. Red Cloud went to the reservation. You're a bitch ass motherfucker. You ain't a real. Look at all these bitches going on the reservation. And they're like, dude, I'm tired of fighting. It's over. I'm going to go settle down on the reservation. You go, fuck you, bitch. I'm still hunting. I'm out in the field, motherfucker. I'm still getting it in. So you get out on the dating apps, you get out of the bars, and you start to realize, oof, there's not as many buffalo left as there used to be. You're like, and the buffalo that are left, they're looking, oh man, it ain't the options. They're not that those good, not those nice meaty buffalo. It's some sick, spindly looking buffalo. Like, oh man, there's some geriatric buffaloes. Look at that buffalo with his saggy titties. That buffalo's got Lyme disease. Oh man, you're like, dude, this. I'm not trying to hunt a buffalo with 3 kids. I'm not trying to hunt a buffalo and then take care of 3 little buffalettes. I'm not doing that. And then you start looking at the dudes on the reservation going, maybe it's time to hang it up. That's what you're like, dude, I don't know how much longer I can keep hunting these buffalo, because times are a changing, and I'm not the young warrior I once was. I'm not the young hunter I once was. Oh, man. Go fucking, guys, have some fun. Thank you, as always, for listening. I appreciate you, and I hope you stay with me through my change of content and everything else I got going out. Deuces. Have a good summer. Don't work yourselves to death. Remember what fucking matters. You matter, all right? So go out and don't get monkey pox, dude. If you're gonna suck a dick, make sure that dick don't have monkey pox, all right? I don't know what you gotta do. I don't know how you get your little fucking kaleidoscope and look in the dick hole, but shut up, Michael. End the podcast. All right, peace.